Shall I bring my sunflower forwards a bit? It's the star of the show, you know. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aries' highest good. How is Aries feeling in this third week of July 2025, going into the fourth week of July 2025, with regards to when they're thinking about dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Aries. How is Aries feeling, first of all? Hi, welcome into the chat. Thank you for the likes. I'm hoping by the end of the holidays we can be maybe at 900 subscribers. I would love to get to 1,000. Let's see how we go. I should manage that by the time I've done all the signs today. Three cards for how Aries is feeling, please. Okay, so Aries' first card is the Six of Swords reversed. So it's like memories from the past, something that you haven't moved on from, or some sort of thoughts of the past, an old cycle, an old chapter. It's star constellations. The cards, star constellations, and there's like Greek myths to go with them. They're really cool. I love them. I'm not going to read them out. I read them out last week and it was got a bit tiresome. But I do like mythology. Okay, so in the challenge position, we've got the Four of Pentacles. Feeling a bit of a sense of lack, you know. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the Five of Pentacles, aren't I? The Four of Pentacles is the Miser card. So that's when you're holding on to time, money or energy in quite a, you know, individual way. Not being that giving with time, money and energy. That's a challenge at the moment. Perhaps you don't feel like you've got the time, the money or the energy to entertain, you know, something new. I don't know what solar balls is. Or are. I don't know what solar balls are. Let's get one more for how Aries is feeling. That took forever for them to come out, didn't it? Okay, so we've got the, let's read from the back. We've got the Eight of Swords reversed, so we're getting free from mental imprisonment. You know, it's not being physically trapped, but mentally feeling stuck. We're getting free from that. The Queen of Swords reversed. So the Queen of Swords, when she's upright, is someone who's very truthful, very honest, can be a bit blunt, thinking in a way that's very logical. It can be a divorce card, but it can be, you know, like it's air energy, so it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. It can be like a card where we sever ties, or well that's it, isn't it? We're sort of like spiritually and mentally severing ties because we're getting free from mental imprisonment and, you know, thoughts of the past. So, and look, we've got there's the Five of Pentacles. Look, the Five of Pentacles. Perhaps she's sad that something's come to an end. Oh, look at that, with the Chariot tipping them out. Misuse. Scorpius transition. Yeah, the Scorpio, the Death card. There's just an overall sense of renewal, you know, leaving the past behind. A new chapter. I mean, it's quite a big deal that to get those cards coming out. So the challenge is, can I give of myself again? Can I give of my time, my money, my energy? Or do I want to hold on to that and just have that for me? It could be that you're anticipating a very different kind of dynamic, you know, because each relationship's different depending on the characteristics of the person that you're in a relationship with. One relationship can be very, very different to the next context. So there could be some anticipation of that and apprehension over that. Which is fair enough. What about the one that's coming in for you then? Because I don't think you're dealing with anyone right now. Right, they've got the Ace of Swords reversed. Now, the Ace of Swords, when it's upright, is a breakthrough, a confession, the truth, clarity, major revelation. When it's reversed, it could be a secret or something that's being held back, or things could be unclear, foggy, okay, mental fog. Oh, look, it's like a mirroring energy. Like this is the same, really. So we've got mental fog, and then we've got the World card reversed. See, that is when a cycle hasn't completed. Stuck in an old chapter. You know, if you could get the same cards out, I bet Spirit would have given us the same cards, but there's only one of each in the tarot deck, so... Seven of Pentacles reversed is like daydreaming, delusion, or unable to consider like what the future might look like. Someone else is really stuck as well. They're unable to picture like what the future would look like, you know, with anybody, frankly. You could be two mature people, you know, that just... You don't even have to be that, but didn't we have a queen? We had a Queen of Swords reversed, didn't we? The Devil reversed. Now that's a good reversal. The Devil card, when it's upright, is, well, it's the major arcana for Capricorn, but it's about being attached, you know, being like bound to something, unable to let go of it. The reverse of that is being able to let go of it. Okay, so that's a good thing. And it's happening at the same time, guys. Like, if your cards are on the same timeline as each other, you both managed to recently reach a turning point in your healing to do with the past. So let's get an outcome and I'll get you a timing. I'm just thinking, I've treated that one as if it was cups, 7 of cups, but it's not. It's 7 of pentacles reversed. So someone could feel like not enough was cultivated in the past. Because if it's upright, I'd just say it's reflective energy. It's looking back at what's been achieved, what's been cultivated so far. Time, money, and energy is being invested. Yeah, was it worth it? And it's reversed. So I think someone feels a sense of lack. Financial lack, like something didn't grow how they needed it to, or the person drained them of money, so there could be a little bit in that. Now we've got the 6 of Pentacles in the outcome, and that's about equal give and take, because 6 is an even number, and then you've got 3 pentacles on the left, 3 pentacles on the right. So if each person gave 3 pentacles, that would be fair, wouldn't it? That would be even. It would be just equal amounts of time, money, and energy being invested from 2 people. That's in the outcome. So I think this is your justice, and I think it's their justice as well. Whoever you're manifesting in. We've got the Temperance, the Judgment, but that's reversed. The 3 of Pentacles reversed. The 4 of Cups reversed. The Star card reversed. Well, the Temperance upright is managing emotions. It's managing to tame yourself, to temper your emotions and get balance before reaching for your goals. The Judgment is a call to action. It's believing that, you know, this is divine timing, that, you know, we're being called to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. That's reversed. So I think we're trying to manage emotions at the moment. I think we could be headed into a Mercury retrograde if we're not already in one. And you're affected by it 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. And that does pull up heavy emotions. Full moons pull up heavy emotions. And we've recently had one of those. 3 of Pentacles reversed is a lack of cooperation. 4 of Cups reversed is becoming open to offers of interest from others after being closed off. And then the Star card reversed is like, it's like a little bit of a lack of healing. When it's upright, you know, we're healing, we're getting wish fulfillment. So there's a need to become emotionally balanced and find balance within ourselves before we can, you know, change these cards around and have teamwork and have a rebirth. Be a phoenix. You know, if you've got no energy or lack of trust, or you're still upset over the past, maybe it's not time. But I do think it's going to happen, because some of these are the way that we need them to be and some of them aren't. It relies upon this. This is the preparation before we go for our goals. Okay. So let's get one final one for the outcome, and then I'll get you a timing. Yeah, see the strength card, so there's a need to be emotionally strong and tame the beast, you know? There's this fire energy, there's a very strong person here, but to be emotionally strong is different to being physically strong. You know, it's like the eternal battle, isn't it, to temper the emotions. It's a lot of fire energy, which is no surprise because you're Aries. There's a lot of pentacles here, so I don't know if you're manifesting in an earth sign. We have got the major arcana for Capricorn, and they're earth. Yeah, there's a lot of like pentacles. Pentacles and water. Right, let's see what went on with them. Let's get a time in first, and then we'll see what went on with them and why they're not with anybody right now. What are they trying to get over? Okay, so there's been a bit of delay, and I don't know if it was recently an anniversary or something that would make you, you know, think a lot about someone from the past. Secret past, skeletons in the closet, not telling the whole story. Okay, so this person was dealing with someone that was a complex character, someone that never told them, you know, everything that they needed to know. They're a bit of a mystery. They may have been someone that had a lot of secrets. Wishful thinking, having lofty ideals leads to a letdown. Be realistic. Flight plan, sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. Between the lines, uncover the truth carefully and write your own ending. Beloved wisdom, love is a choice you make every day, so choose wisely. And these are collective readings for each of the signs, so you just watch your sign or the sign of your person. Yeah, but that'll be in like 3 hours, because I'll do half an hour for each sign, and I'm only just on Aries. So you might want to leave and come back, I don't know. This one. I think they were dealing with someone who's a bit of a shapeshifter, you know? Someone who, like, was silver-tongued, sketched over, you know, like a lot of the truth, glazed over things. Someone who's an iceberg where, like, you know, it's just the tip of the tip of the iceberg, what you're told. Keeping a promise, copycat. This person could have like been a bit of a swindler, and they could have been used to doing this to many people. Like, this wasn't their first rodeo. You know, there could have been a few victims of marriage here. Yeah, look at this. The truth is more complicated than you think. They sent them on a rat run. Do you know what I mean? Like, just constantly confuse them and, like, told things that happened at totally different times, gave them the runaround, all sorts of stories. It's a swindler. If you ask, I'll stay. They could have threatened to leave, a few times. But often people do that when they've got no intention of going anywhere. Running away. Right, so time's been delayed. So I think time's been delayed because each of you are trying to heal still and trying to become ready for this to come in. So let's get you some advice. Okay, so Spirit's advice to you, Aries, is to be happy, without a relationship right now, to find equilibrium and find balance in everything you have, like your work, your hobbies, your health, your friendships, your family, the bucket list, you know what I mean? Find equilibrium, find balance, because you're in a period of healing. And once we've found equilibrium and we're feeling contented and we're genuinely happy, we feel fulfilled, before a relationship, and outside of a relationship, if we feel truly fulfilled and we're happy and we're loving life, that's when you get to shoot and aim, you shoot that arrow and aim for your goals, okay? And we can't do that when we're, sometimes feeling a bit needy, wishing that we had a relationship, because if you get into a relationship before you're ready, one, you don't know what you want, and two, you won't put up enough boundaries to make sure that someone lives up to all of your expectations. You're inclined to put up with them exactly how they are, and it's not about changing anyone. It's about saying no and being able to date, and dating means saying, well, thanks for tonight, but, I'm not sure that I want to see you again because I just don't feel that spark, or I just don't, think that we have enough in common, or I just don't think that it's going to be practical living so far apart from each other. You've got to be able to say yay or nay early on and not make do with or put up with. And if you see a red flag, you've got to be able to say no thank you. So you need to be happy and find yourself outside of a relationship or marriage, and then you decide, Spirit, I want someone who's like this. What are your non-negotiables? What are you absolutely not prepared to compromise over anymore? What are you definitely not attracted to ever again? Think about that and get clear on it, and then make sure that you are doing the things that you've always wanted to do and living your best life, and you will attract it in. Say out loud, this is the kind of person that I want. And while you're busy getting your goals achieved, you will bring someone in, who's in line with where you're going and what you want. Okay. So it's quite, it seems like not that exciting an outcome where it says time is being delayed. But this is very interesting, the fact that there's somebody here that's also healing and you're on the same time frame. It's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna get you a couple more cards before I let you go. This is the essential oils, so things that would be good for your healing right now. See, this is clary sage. It balances and it clarifies. Okay, so sage is antimicrobial, antibacterial. Really, really good for uplifting you, helping you to meditate, get rid of negative energy and any germs. You can put it in a diffuser. You could get some essential oil off the internet and put it in a diffuser with water, or you could get it put into some, cream so you can use it topically on your skin. And then I love that when you put some hand cream on, they have a little sniff of it, and it's just really like therapeutic. So that's nice. And then let's get you a positive affirmation. I trust in my abilities to overcome any challenge. I trust in my abilities to overcome any challenge. I am always learning and improving. I am always learning and improving. Okay, so the thing that people adore about you, Aries. Let's see what that is, what people adore about you. Okay, so the way that you make judgment is to listen to both sides before making a decision. You're never overly harsh, you don't jump to conclusions, you're a very considered, mature kind of a person. Okay, the other thing that people adore about you is your humility. So, whatever you're like admired for, you're not kind of going on about it, even if you're very conscious of the things that you're good at, or you're aware that you're doing well in life. You're not ever like pushing that in anyone's face. And see, this is something that, it says I quietly show people what I can do instead of bragging. And that's something that people really like about you. So you can be incredibly fair and wise, and you can be incredibly talented or successful, but you're never cruel about that, and you don't brag about it. Okay, people are just impressed by both aspects of that. So that's really nice. Okay, take care. Take care, Aries. I hope you liked this reading. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. So we're going to go on to Taurus. I think like the other things that can cause delays while love's concerned could be like, things that are just like not within our control, like a parent could become ill, or a child could become ill, or you could get an injury while you're running a marathon, or there could suddenly be loads of change in work, so you just feel overwhelmed to date or whatever. So it doesn't mean that there's anything, wrong, or that it's not going to happen, you meeting this person, but it's just being delayed for some reason. Maybe your spirit guides just think you need a little bit more time, to like discover yourself before you get into a relationship again, especially if you got into a relationship very young that went very serious. I think you can lose your sense of like self and your identity a bit. It all goes on pause when you maybe get married to the first person that you fall in love with or something like that. It delays you getting to know yourself. Okay, on to Taurus.